Boom.
It's like they're coming to kill some poultry or something or some. Are we on?
Talking about chicken killing?
Welcome to this week's edition of the Mead, Metal, and MMA podcast.
I hit the button too early.
Straight up murdering poultry and such. This is where we come together every week to talk about our three favorite subjects in life. Well, amongst others. But Mead, Metal, and MMA.
Back on a Friday.
Yeah. No, we had to make the adjustments doing this shit on Thursdays.
Because someone got a little too fucking popular.
Yeah. Well, I had to actually go because I got a day job. So I actually had to go to a convention last week. And the week before that, I think I had a camping trip. Which, by the way, that one was a very well spent. Do it on a Thursday deal.
Yeah.
Last week we had to do it because that's the way it had to go. But
right.
We'd prefer to do this shit on Fridays. So
yeah, we like to leave our Thursdays for other debauchery.
Yeah, how the fuck are you? You doing all right?
I'm doing all right. I watched watching American Gods on Stars.
Yeah.
Fucking great show.
Now I'm shocked because that would indicate that you're buying Stars.
No, I never said that. But I will say I've seen them. Well, she's been at a friend's house that has it.
Yeah, my friend's got a. He likes being on the torrents, and
if you're a fan of Deadwood or a fan of Ian McShane in any facet, it's a must-watch.
Yeah, I know. I thought he was perfect on Game of Thrones.
Yes.
His, long tenure there.
That's right. I almost loved him more just for him spoiling shit. Fucking spoiling what's-his-face's return.
Yeah. Because Game of Thrones fans are weirdos, and they get completely fired up if anybody throws out some spoilers, one way or the other. And he was basically just willing to just go ahead and wheel and deal them.
It's like, calm down. It's just tits and dragons.
Which, by the way, so we're a month out from that.
July 17th.
A little over a month.
Oh, and I also started watching The Handmaid's Tale. That's a good fucking show. It's on Hulu.
Okay. God damn, you'd have me almost paying what Dish or DirecTV would be worth. But
well, it's on Hulu, but I don't have Hulu either.
I
don't have Stars and I don't have Hulu.
So we've gotten our presence a man that sails the pirate seas.
That's right. And sometimes those seas get a little choppy. But I would pay the Hulu price to watch Handmaid's Tale.
Okay.
Outside, I know people are saying, "Oh, it's so relevant to the times of right now and what America is." No, it's fucking bullshit. This show would be great even if the climate was good.
So there you go. You have two immediate show reviews from Brandon Minnie.
There you go. My 3-minute movie
on American Gods and the Handjobber's Tale.
Yes, that's right. The Blowjibber's Tale.
Handmaiden's Tale.
The old-fashioned tale. Check them out.
We come together to talk about some other shit, too. We have Mead, Metal, and MMA. Mead this week, the update. As we've already got a couple of donors going cash deep on us.
That's right.
We have the Runestone batch. Here's the fascinating update. We have artwork getting done by the crowd favorite.
Your friend of mine.
Ruben, the mauler,
Gustafson.
Well, that sounds a little Swedish for him.
Yeah, it does.
This needs to be a little more Mexican.
El Fuego.
Yeah, but Ruben's working on some artwork.
Yeah,
that'll be on the featured on the label on that bottle. So
yeah, when it comes out, our good friend Ruben is going to be making our ideas real.
Well, and the cool thing too is because I think we're a week away from bottling.
Yeah,
I really do. I think we're about 1 week out. This is going to be a very green batch in the fact that, meaning green technology. We're recycling bottles. Right. So for those of you that want to know the process involves Kevin working his ass off about 5 hours as a scullery maid.
No, we sanitize by me pissing in each one and then copulating with it.
Like back in the old days.
That's right.
But no, it's a long process that involves physical scrubbing.
It works on your upper body strength.
Yeah, it really does. And then it goes through a high temp wash and then sanitizer to follow it up, just to make it that much more tantalizing. But anyway, we're going to be utilizing. They are going to be recycled bottles. I mean, we might have to slip a new one in here and there if we can't make out a full case. That's fine. Labels taken care of. We have the corks to pull this off. That batch 1 week from today, Actually, we might need to do that on Thursday. Well, we'll figure it out. But
Yeah.
but yeah, we're going to be bottling that batch. Once we bottle it, get the corks dropped. I like to let them settle about 4 or 5 days, see if there's anything weird's going to happen. But as we know, it usually doesn't. That usually requires you to be in the middle of the night, and the cork gets blown out of your bottle, and you have to come running out and take care of business like you're Superman. You know.
Oh shit!
Homage
still
to my
makes
brother.
Me laugh. No, Green Man's still chugging right along.
Literally.
Yeah.
Sounds like a goddamn locomotive when you when you have everything.
It
off.
is certainly doing its job. Because, completely honest, friends, right now we're down to about 4 bottles.
Yeah, no,
and 2 of them are already off the table because
we're out of stock officially.
Yeah,
I
we have 2 bottles of batch 1 left.
Probably if I was going to be a good human being, I'd probably take one of the 2 that remain, get that one off my brother for that weird sacred tree incident. If I were a good human.
Yeah, I was gonna say. If you, so this everything you said after that, I don't think I was listening even because like no, it's all bullshit.
Love you, Daryl. All right, okay, that's the Mead update. We're going to start another batch. Probably give us about 2 or 3 weeks. I've got to see how things go with finances and things like that. We're kind of having a weird time involving fucking legal Zoom.
Right. Yeah, that is really weird that if that LLC shit is a recurring yearly cost.
I assume. I don't know, and I'm not really going to say too much, but if you got a cousin or somebody that's in the legal business or a paralegal, get them to do your legal shit for you because I'm thinking we're getting bent over by legal Zoom. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah. Yeah, it's something reeks out of the whole ordeal.
This week's non-sponsor is LegalZoom, bending you over the best they can.
Fucking every hole you own.
Ooh. All right, metal update. Dave Navarro week. Look, I think Dave Navarro, honest to God, I think it's his birthday week, by the way. He's turned another year old. He turned, 40, 41 earlier this week. But
God, I didn't realize he was that young.
Yeah, no, he's like early 40s, I think. So, birthday earlier this week. I think the guy, honestly,
dude's 50.
Oh, okay. Well, I had the year. I was like, no, I think he turned 40. No, he turned 50. Okay, there you go. Because that would have made him like a prepubescent teen when he got active.
Yeah, I was like, was he 13 when he subbed in for Chili Peppers?
But anyway, I think the guy is a groundbreaking guitar player, in my opinion. I think probably in the top 10 guitar players of this generation. Brandon calls him a hired gun.
He's a hired. Well, in my opinion, he's a hired gun. He, because like, how long was he in Jane's Addiction?
Well, how long was Jane's Addiction around? Because I mean, that's. I can ask a question to answer your question.
I'm not sure.
Because I don't think he was the original guitar player, but he came along right. I mean, everything off of that record had his shit on it. So
yeah, and he's done like some solo jargon.
Yeah,
he's on that show Ink Masters, the tattoo reality show.
And he is that the one he was on with his wife? Tawny Katane, right? Isn't that it? No,
Carmen Electra.
I knew it was some whore.
That fucking whore.
No. So Carmen Electra, he was on a reality show with her. And I have a coworker that knew exactly who Dave Navarro was. I was impressed, but she didn't know him because of his guitar playing ability. She knew him because of a goddamn reality show. So
that's usually how it goes down these days, man.
I guess.
I mean, he's all right. Like I said, I view him as a hired gun. That's not really a bad thing, though. I mean, he's a guy that, like, we need a guitar player, and this guy will do what we need. And he's got some skill.
So what you're saying...
He's just too pretty looking, that's all.
Yeah. So if Kirk Hammett had to drop out for some reason out of Metallica for, like, 3 weeks in the middle of a tour, that guy could probably step right in, and nobody would probably miss a beat. See, this is where I have to go to Metallica for this reason because Brandon's a Metallica fan.
Anything past, I'd say, Black Album and up. He's good.
Yeah.
You're not going to see him playing like Motor Breath or anything. Sorry.
No.
He's not known for speed, and Metallica is kind of known for speed.
Yeah. Well, so if Bush put out like some kind of a reunion thing of their 2 records they did.
Yeah, like a Bush or even like Linkin Park needed a new guitar player. Which,
Well, Linkin Park's full of these assholes anyway,
Yeah.
so, hired guns, that is.
well, shit, much like Elevati, who I just read, instead of having 6 members, now has 9. Which, by the way, Elevati is they're not they look Gaelic, but they're not. They're Finnish.
Yeah.
Apparently, they got rid of 3 band members after that last album came out.
The Origins.
Origins, right?
Yeah.
And then replaced those 3, and then got 3 more. So now, instead of having a 6-piece, they got a 9-piece. They're Slipknot for folk metal.
So they're up to a 9-piece act now.
Yeah. But all you're going to hear is that goddamn tin flute.
Yeah, that's a weird, like, hurdy-gurdy tin flute kind of a thing. There were 2 songs that they released specifically for radio, and you could tell because they were very polished off the last album.
Call of the
King
Mountain.
and Call of the Mountain.
Yeah.
Those 2. And good God almighty, the rest of that album wasn't even a shadow of that. It was completely different.
There's 2 songs that doesn't have that fucking flute at all.
The flute,
which, by the way, lead singer plays the flute, so that's why it's at the front.
So if he's not singing, then that's the problem. It's up in the mix. You know, I mean, I don't want to get bogged down and get people bored listening to our bullshit. About
No,
mixes,
but if you're going to listen to Elevati, which I recommend you should, listen to their older shit.
I was wearing my Elevati Origin shirt when I was in Austin, walking around like 6th Street or whatever.
Yeah.
And actually I had like some little, like a long-haired kid come up and goes, "Hey, man, great shirt." Like, yeah, well, I'm not going to get it from me by my goddamn age, am I?
There was a great story I read about today. You're familiar with Dimebag Darrell.
Yeah,
obviously.
Pantera, right?
He had a deal with Dean Guitars.
Okay.
Made like his signature line, and they were signature. You knew that was a Dimebag Darrell guitar.
Yeah, right.
So
Because Jackson had a deal like 10, 12 years ago, right?
Yeah.
And then he got over that Dean deal. Yeah, right.
So the 16-year-old kid, it's his birthday. His father had passed away previously. Like, I think a couple months before he turned 16, father dies. So on his 16th birthday, mom takes him down to a music store and gives him a card. And he opens the card. It's a card from his dead father, wishing him a happy 16th birthday.
Good God.
And then they guys behind the counter fucking pull out this Dean guitar case, and his dad had bought him a kick-ass Dimebag Dean signature guitar for his 16th birthday before he died. It's one of the things because I guess he had to have cancer or something bad.
Yeah, you got to know your end as a kid.
Yeah,
if you're
I mean, god damn. I mean, and this kid could barely hold it together.
Well, yeah, no
Yeah.
shit. You're telling me. I'm like, God damn,
yeah,
dude.
shit, right?
Come on, man. Yeah,
I mean,
it's,
god damn. It's such an amazing story from a genre of music that you don't really get goosebumps from unless it's a really good jam you're listening to.
Yeah, that's, man. Yeah, I don't know. It's heartwarming if you want it to be.
Oh yeah.
Me, I'm the Grinch on this shit. I have to, it's 3 sizes too small or something.
Bet that dude was gay.
Bet he's going to start playing a whole lot of Tears for Fears covers.
Oh shit! Everybody Wants to Rule the World would sound great on a Dean guitar, played by a 16-year-old who just lost his father. Oh shit! Okay, we're getting a little dark.
A little darker.
A little
than
dark.
we should. All right. Update on. Have you listened to Elder's new album yet? No, not you. I'm talking specifically.
Oh, you're talking to the people.
To the people, and you know who you are. We told you last week you need to listen. And you went, yeah, okay, yeah, cool. I'll check it out here pretty soon. Check it out now. Stop the podcast where you're at. Check it out. Because here's the whole thing. And maybe you'll bear with me on this, Brandon. If you're looking for some musical background, the soundtrack of your day, it's not a bad one for that.
It really isn't. Yeah, you got to be in the right mindset for it.
I mean, now, if you're looking for like some really overly technical shit that just kind of knocks your socks off, this is not going to be a record.
Oh,
although it has
not.
its moments.
Sure.
But no, for a long hour and 10-minute droning, different temperatures of sound.
Yeah.
If that makes any sense. Different
It
textures.
covers a wide array of fucking emotion.
Yeah.
And
I highly encourage it.
absolutely.
You know,
I mean, for folks that have never heard Elder, that actually might not be a bad album to start with.
I mean, I always thought that Lore would have been the way to go, but as it turns out, no. The new one, and by the way, it's on YouTube. I mean, that's the way the world is now.
Sure.
You're not having to pay for anything unless you want to own a copy of that, which doesn't make any sense anymore. The iTunes model is kind of starting to fade away, isn't it?
Well, they're starting to level out because physical copies of shit, they've really stepped up their game.
Oh, okay.
As you'll see, like with Winter Sun's $50 package. Through Nuclear Blast, of course.
Right.
It's a great package. I mean,
Yeah.
$50. And a lot of fucking people are going to buy it. Just based off the fact that, like, well, for $50 over here, I just got a bunch of downloadable content. Well, now over here, I'm fucking getting some fucking solid shit. The vinyls look good. Everything looks good. And you're getting half the shit that the download cocksuckers fucking got in the physical copy version.
Yeah. Well, those are the main.
You're not
bashes
getting
we
all the
were,
stems for fucking 4 seasons, so
and who
bummer
cares?
there.
And who cares? Do you
Sorry,
really
I'm
want,
not going to go on that tangent. I'm
do
sorry.
you really want stems to play over or whatever? Anyway,
Yeah,
so
I want to
yes.
just hear Yari's fucking guitar riff and beat off.
Sorry,
Sorry,
anyway,
folks.
yeah. You mean the guy that got fired from? What I was almost said Ellie No, it's
Insevere.
yeah. All right, so Elder, Reflections of a Floating World. Get it, bring it up on YouTube, plug it into the best sound system you've got, and sit back and enjoy. And I mean, if you require a lot of active things happening constantly,
Yeah.
you're not going to enjoy it.
No.
But if
No,
you're
listen to
looking-
Lamb of God if that's what you're looking for.
But if you are looking for, that's a good analogy. But if you're looking for something that actually is going to make your day pass while you're doing things like while you're working out in your living room or whatever, you're throwing together breakfast for your grandmother or whatever you're doing,
Yeah.
it's actually a really good one for that. So,
A lot of fucking albums came out this week
okay, what do
of
we
the
got?
past. Let's see, 13 years ago. This week, Velvet Revolver's debut album came out, Contraband.
And that's
Ooh, god damn, I have mixed feelings about that.
what are your
album.
thoughts on Velvet Revolver? Because it wasn't STP, so you can't necessarily sit
No,
back.
but fucking
you
Waylon looked like he had an STD. Dude weighed 80 pounds.
right?
The music
Well,
video.
that's called heroin.
Yeah, that's called the Heron. He looked awful. He looked like shit. Fucking bony facial features. He looked bad, visibly bad. And then you got Slash being all sweaty and naked right next to him. The visuals did not do well for me. Musically, it was fine. It was fine.
My problem was, okay, I tried to view it, and it was an impossible mission. I tried to separate Stone Temple Pilots from Velvet Revolver, and I mean, yeah, I was trying to appreciate what it was that I was listening to. All I could sit there and think, man, if Scott Weiland and the DeLeo brothers could get some shit together, and
They
could
just
put
figure
out-
shit out, right?
just get back to doing music again as STP.
Yeah.
That's all I could think about. Nothing against Slash.
Sure.
Scott Weiland was he was my boy. He's my boy, Blue.
Which, speaking of STB, 23 years ago this week, Purple comes out. That's a big one.
Now, lists as we do,
Sure.
impromptu on the show. Okay, favorite 3 Stone Temple Pilots albums.
Oh God, fucking okay. Purple, Core, and Vatican Gift Shop.
All right, fuck you, because we're on the same list. Okay, never mind. All right.
I'm sorry. I was basically gonna really just say, well, the first 3 they released.
Yeah,
because when number 4 came out,
Number 4 was a very. I mean, now you've got to be really into some interesting guitar work, which I
Yeah.
appreciate. Robert
Sure.
DeLeo is just his intricacy is kind of a little bit mind blowing at times.
yeah, they
you know?
really. I mean, they fucking really pushed the envelope. Number
Yeah.
4, not really in the direction that I would have liked,
Right.
but they had already given me so much good shit in the past anyway.
Right.
So,
I mean, now Core, don't get me wrong, Core should be maybe at number 1, probably, except the fact is that I have to go Purple because of the commercial success.
yeah, and because of Big Empty is my favorite.
Big Empty is on
best
that
jam
one.
around.
Vaselina's on that one.
First heard that on the Crow soundtrack, which, by the way, is probably, in my opinion, the best movie soundtrack of all
Interstate
time.
Love Song's on that one.
Hey, that'll be a good topic to cover next week during the Metal Pocket. The best soundtrack, best metal soundtrack for a movie.
Oof.
There's a lot of them.
There are a few. I'd have to give some thought. All right, let's move on.
Another big one. 14 years ago this week, Metallica's Saint Anger comes out.
Yeah, Rejoice, Dancing in the Streets.
Hey, like I said, you listen to it now, it's more palatable.
I listened to it for the bass parts. Yeah.
I listen to it for that fucking drum sound, man. Oh, it just does something for me.
If they could have just mic'd up that snare without the traps on it a little bit more, because I love a doing sound all the way. Doing, doing, doing.
And again, which is weird, there seems to be like a weird trend here. 21 years ago this week, Metallica releases Load, which, again, another very controversial album, one of my favorites.
Right. Honestly, I have no problem with Load and Unload. I don't, or Reload.
Load and Unload. Unload's going to be the third of
people
the three bands.
People are waiting for the Unload now. But yeah, Load, Reload. I don't have a problem with those. Saint Anger was the one because of the fact that that's the one where they really dropped the bass track, virtually non-existent. And
It's because the bass player was a goddamn producer. When Saint Anger came out, Bob Rock laid down the bass lines.
Wow.
Yeah. It wasn't Robert Trujillo.
Oh, yeah, because they had...
Death Magnetic was the first album Robert Trujillo was on.
Yeah. No, and Robert Trujillo, by the way, best... Would it be weird to say best bass player in metal? I mean, he's a Jaco Pastorius fucking acolyte.
Like, if you take into consideration like the skill he brings to the table, plus his stage presence and what he does,
yeah,
he's a total package. I'd say one of the best finger players. One of the best finger plucking bass players.
Yeah, no, he's an interesting guy.
And a great... I know he's never tried to be a replacement for Cliff Burton,
no,
but about as close as to the stylings of Cliff Burton as they're going to get.
Man, but he's omnipresent on everything now. You know, since he's been with Metallica.
Yeah, you hear him play Anesthesia live, which is basically a bass solo, a 3-minute long bass solo,
Sure.
and Kill 'Em All.
Yeah,
he knocks it out of the park.
I think he's
justice.
the best bass player in metal right now. I mean, an odd start. I mean, the guy was.
That's tough. I mean,
Santa
you got Dave
Barbara,
Ellefson from
California.
Megadeth, who's
Yeah,
also great.
who's always underrated.
Yeah, always great.
I mean, Trujillo had that jazz background.
Yeah.
And started in
Has
Suicidal
fucking
Tendencies.
flamenco background as well.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's hard to argue against that.
And one of the most heavy metal names of our time was born on this day.
Flea.
More metal than Flea, even. I'm talking about Lady Judy Garland. Fuck, couldn't even say her name.
Wow.
Yeah, born on this day in 1922, which basically means no one of metal note or rock note, for that matter, was born today.
Not today, but this has been Dave Navarro week.
Chester Burnett, Howlin' Wolf, Chicago blues singer, was born on this day in 1910.
Yeah, see another one of them like to percolate himself a rabbit once in a while. I'm
No,
sorry, but
this guy died the old-fashioned way of cancer.
That's
how the fuck do you die in a hotel fire? Because you're trying to cook a fucking rabbit in a percolator. God damn.
Well, I had to do research. It turns out it's not as cool as you'd think. But I'm not gonna go.
Don't
and
ruin it
reveal
for me.
because
No, don't.
I'm not
Don't
gonna
ruin
ruin it. I am not gonna ruin
that story. Don't let the truth get in the way of a good story, my friend.
That's it.
Well, hey, man, that's all I got for metal.
That's it. Now, here's the cool thing is because the MMA portion of our podcast is that every solid week since Memorial Day, dating to
See, we had
July?
we had
No,
we had
after-
two,
well
we
into
had
July.
212, then we had a week free, and then we had the Gustafson card last week.
Yeah, I mean
Oh,
it's like every
Yeah.
weekend. Every weekend there's something. And tomorrow is UFC New Zealand.
Which thankfully we're getting at a normal time on a Saturday.
UFC decided to say, fuck you, New Zealand. We're going to put this thing on like at 11 a.m. or whatever it is.
Fight past prelims at 5 o'clock our time.
5 p.m., which means over there is like 7, 8 o'clock in the morning.
That's got to be
on Sunday.
I mean, dawn, man.
Yeah, we do have a page on Facebook. We're not like trying to invite people to it because it's pretty.
No,
private,
fuck that. That's our club.
Yeah, but yeah, the little banner it said like the Sunday because it's New Zealand.
Oh wow! So it's the New Zealand promo picture that's up there on the page.
Yeah.
Oh wow!
I think so. But nonetheless, I don't know if we like it.
Can they enjoy Chingasos on a holy day?
I don't know. Nobody counts Sunday as a holy day except like this country, certain states.
That's right. I always love when people come to New Mexico, especially Portales, and be like, "Hey, why can't I buy beer on Sunday?"
Yeah.
Like, well, sir, God said no.
Yeah. Hey, I went to the store the other night, 11:30 at night on a Saturday, and bought a fifth of rye. How come I can't do it again 2 hours later?
Because God said no.
Yeah. Best watch yourself, son.
I think the biggest topic going on right now is Mighty Mouse versus UFC. I really do.
Oof, okay, this one is a big one. It requires a bit of background, which Brandon will give. But I've always assumed that the promotion is kind of shady. I mean, they have to kind of be. You have to be willing to bully some of your fighters around in order to be able to make fights. I didn't realize that Dana White kind of gets into that on a regular basis, and I also didn't realize they were going to do that to somebody as a champion.
Yeah. So basically, Mighty Mouse, who a lot of people will agree. Would you grab me another one, sir?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Sorry, I'm running out of beer. Mighty Mouse, in my opinion, Kevin's opinion, and the opinion of a lot of people, pound for pound, greatest fighter right now.
Demetrious Johnson he takes people apart so surgically it's crazy.
Yeah.
To me that he is not considered to be pound for pound best by the UFC, but he is everywhere else. ESPN, some of these other different ones.
Ransom is number one.
I mean, because of the fact that he is skilled beyond expectation of any champion.
And he's only suffered one loss in his UFC career, and it was at bantamweight. It was at 135.
Yeah.
Before there was a flyweight.
Was it to Cruz?
I think that was to Cruz.
Yeah.
And ever since then, I mean, the dude has defended that belt 10 times. If you see Mighty Mouse on a card, you bet your ass he's going to be there, and he's going to perform.
Right.
He's basically like McGregor, only this motherfucker just wants to fight. That's all he wants to do.
So is it which McGregor doesn't want to do. And,
well, he does. He's just choosing weird fucking.
Kind of opposites in that.
Which, by the way, Connor, you have 6 months to do something. If you take a full calendar year and do nothing, then fuck you, sir.
Well, you better be prepared.
Well, I'm ready. Hey, I'm still a Connor man. I am a Connor man. But
so back to Demetrious Johnson. So the UFC basically says, all right, we're going to try to set up this fight.
It was between Garbrandt and Mighty Mouse.
They were talking about some kind of a super fight,
which would have been perfect. That would have had Mighty Mouse coming up to 135 after he had just defended that belt for the 10th time.
Right. And then Garbrandt, as we know, got injured. Well, then they started trying to work in Ray Borg, and they basically told him, look, that's what the fight's going to be. So Demetrious Johnson, being a fighter, what he does for a career, says, okay.
And in defense of UFC, I mean, if you're looking for a flyweight contender, there's really not a whole lot out there.
No, he's cleaned out the division. We know this. But the thing is, so that's the fight they give him. He says, great. Let me get into camp. And we're going to go ahead and work on training for that fighter. Well, that's when things get weird. Because when Garbrandt pulls out.
Due to his strained vagina.
Well, he's not AKA, is he?
No, he's not. He's just a big bully who's mean and dumb. But he's a bad motherfucker.
So they set up, okay, TJ Dillashaw. That's the guy who's going to be now. Now, Mighty Mouse says, no, I'm not fighting TJ Dillashaw. You already told me Ray Borg. That's where I'm locked in. And they said, no, you're going to fight T.J. Dillashaw.
Which, by the way, this fight was never officially announced.
No.
The Ray Borg fight.
No. Well, according to Demetrious Johnson, it was.
I mean, officially announced as on a card.
Right.
It hasn't been.
But so I don't know. There's a bunch of back and forth. But what happens is, though, is that Johnson says, no, you told me Ray Borg. That's where I'm keeping my eye at on all of this. If I fight T.J. Dillashaw, who, by the way, has never dropped to 125 in his life.
Right.
That was his concern. Well, then that his streak of title defenses in his division comes to an end.
Well, I don't think it would come to an end because the belt would no longer be on the line. It'd be
the way that he had mentioned it was. And the other problem he also had was the fact is they're not giving him pay-per-view points.
Sure.
And says that they are not marketing him at all. And
sure.
And they're not.
Agreed.
They try to say little people, the smaller weight divisions, they don't draw the people.
Yet they were going to headline a bantamweight title fight for their biggest card of the year.
Yeah. So
a fight that I was going to go to that fight for Dillashaw and Garbrandt.
Yeah.
213, I was there. As soon as that fight got pulled and they replaced it with an interim middleweight title fight, by the way, good luck, Yoel Romero, I had no interest. The small fighters draw. They do to me.
125s don't, though. That's the problem.
They don't because Mighty Mouse is so goddamn dominant.
He has cleared out the entire division, and that's how the 125 sits, is with him at the top, and there's really nobody even on the landscape. And it might be his own fault.
Sure.
It might be his own fault.
Well, the question is this. Does Mighty Mouse take the fight?
Well, do you want to continue fighting for a living, I guess, in the UFC? I think, and Dana White kind of really alluded to that, according to his response, according to Demetrious Johnson. Dana White basically said, you're going to take that fight or else you won't fight. And that's when they announced it. They actually announced at press conference it's going to be Mighty Mouse fighting Dillashaw before Mighty Mouse was even really consulted about it. So,
shitty way to do business. Agreed.
So how's that going to come down? How's that stalemate going to break through? You have Demetrious Johnson saying, I'm not fighting T.J. Dillashaw, and you have the promotion saying, yeah, you are. You're going to fight T.J. Dillashaw on July 7th or whatever, 8th. I don't know.
Oh, no, that's not going to be on 213. Couldn't be.
Well, that was where the Garbrandt one was going to be. I guess probably the Dillashaw
I think that
one
fight
would
was
be
going
later.
to be is going to be August or September.
Okay.
I really feel that Mighty Mouse needs to take this fight.
Well, yeah, because
not because I'm not taking the UFC side on this. I'm actually taking Mighty Mouse's side because if he takes this fight, he's going to get all the things he's asked for. TJ Dillashaw has already said, look, Mighty Mouse has said, I'm not going to take this fight unless there's a stipulation in the contract that says if he doesn't make weight, I get every dime he was going to make. And Dillashaw said, cool, that's fine. So, that right there, you've already taken the one sticking point you had away.
Yeah.
And
my problem is I do think that T.J. Dillashaw can beat Cody Garbrandt is the problem. I don't know. I think Demetrious Johnson can beat T.J. Dillashaw. So that will really throw a monkey wrench into.
Well, Dillashaw is going to be sacrificing some power, dropping down 10 more pounds. He's going to have to lose a little bit of muscle mass. The dude is lean enough as it is.
Yeah, that's why I don't think he can make that weight. And I think that's why Mighty Mouse is right.
I think he can make it. I just don't think he can be effective.
Yeah.
He'll come back on fight night and probably be $150.
Yeah, but not with the resources of having your standard electrolytes already in place.
True.
That
and
he
he's
generally would get from IVs in the past, which you can't use now. But
he said that he's already working on this fight as far as cutting weight. So, Mighty Mouse would get pay-per-view points for this fight because you got as close to the super fight as you're going to get with the UFC recently.
This promotion has marketed the women's 145 more than they ever have the men's 125.
Yeah. When was the last time you saw Demetrious main event a pay-per-view? Been a long time.
Bogatinov a couple of years ago. 3 years ago,
maybe.
probably.
It might have been, or maybe either the first or second John Dodson fight.
Yeah, but even those, I think it was co-main. So
yeah.
No,
there was one where I think Dodson was main event. But I think if he takes this fight, UFC will have no choice but to market him.
Yeah.
Because, again, you're going to have a huge fight, a fight that people will pay to see.
But it is interesting, though. I mean, this promotion bullies the shit out of fighters that they can get away with.
If Mighty Mouse is saying is truthful and he has no reason to fucking lie, that the UFC, that Dana threatens to dissolve the fucking flyweight division because he won't take the fight.
If he wouldn't take the fight, then he said he was going to dissolve the whole division.
Shame on the UFC. Shame on Dana White.
Come on, man.
You know, there is a way for all parties involved to get what they want here if everyone just fucking plays nice.
Well, with the Reebok deal and the bullshit that they're doing with as far as their matchmakers go, who are, by the way, seemingly way over their skis. I mean, there's no Silva that's left on the table on putting together these fights.
Yeah.
The guys that were the key players behind everything in the UFC's entire history, Joe Silva was the best matchmaker that they ever had. And
it shows. It shows.
Yeah,
him not being around.
The fights are really all over the place. They're either really, really good, but it feels like an accident.
Yeah, like holy
when
shit,
they are.
This was a great fight, and I did not expect it to be a great fight.
Or there are fights that have a finish really fast. There's not this weird. There's not this parity that used to be there, that you would really see the dominant fighter in later rounds come out and showcase his ability.
Yeah.
We don't see that much anymore.
No, and we also see a lot of interim title fights.
Constant interim fights.
Yeah.
So, I mean, Yoel Romero, great. He's finally getting an interim. So that way when Bisping runs away again.
All that means is if he wins that fight.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, Robert Whittaker's a bad motherfucker, no doubt.
That guy, good God, who the fuck wants to fight him? He might knock Yoel Romero out.
Yeah.
I'm a Yoel guy, and I don't want to see him fight Whittaker.
I don't know, man. I think we're going to see another flying knee from Cuba. It's coming in and shut shit down.
But, I mean, Jesus, everybody looks past Whittaker every time.
Yeah, it could be a huge upset.
Dangerous.
It would be a huge upset.
Dangerous. Well, then Michael Bisping would have to fight him. Bisping is sitting on a title that he should have, number one, never had. Number two, should have lost when he defended. And number three is really just playing it out as long as it'll go. And I think it's a Fox conspiracy.
Yeah.
I think it's a UFC conspiracy. And it's definitely a Michael Bisping conspiracy.
See, we don't talk about politics here, but goddamn it, when we talk about UFC, there's a lot of weird shit going on.
Yeah.
There really is. Yeah. There is some things going on behind the scenes that would probably blow our fucking minds.
Who would have thought Michael Bisping sitting in middleweight now? 10 years ago, okay, if he moved up, took it from Anderson Silva, whatever. But now his vision is worse. His movement's slower. He's not nearly as dangerous. He doesn't take people down the way he used to.
Yeah,
because
his striking is still pretty damn solid.
It's not bad. It is not bad. That's it.
Yeah,
that guy's your middleweight champ, folks. Mainly because Luke Rockhold went in all lackadaisical.
Yeah, it's all his fault, really.
Well, let's go ahead and let's take it back to Chris Weidman then.
Yeah, that's right. I blame all them fucking bastards. Salty cunts.
All right, let's talk. Let's not talk prelims. What do we have on the main card?
Yeah, I'm looking at the card here. Some names that jump out. Tim Elliott fighting Ben Nguyen.
Ben Nguyen. That's going to be the focus of the. That's going to be the top prelim fight, I think. Ben Nguyen.
No, that's actually the second fight on the main card.
Okay.
There are 6 fights on the main card.
Oh, well, that's why I was a little off.
Yeah.
Okay. Ben Nguyen is probably one of the most interesting and entertaining fighters in the UFC right now.
And he's at flyweight.
Yeah, 125.
The division fucking Dana wants to dissolve.
This is the one guy in that division probably that could challenge Demetrious Johnson. Because let's be honest, Ray Borg's not the guy that's going to get it done.
Everyone thought Cejudo was the guy.
No.
And Mighty Mouse made him look like a fool.
I told you I thought Cejudo was lazy. He's a lazy Olympian, and I was right.
Oh, man, goddamn. There's no hope in the fucking flyweight division if you're fighting Mighty Mouse.
But this might very well be the one guy that does. Ben Nguyen has the skills to fight Demetrious Johnson. I think that's a fight we will eventually see.
Yeah, Tim Elliott, he last fought Smolka on the Johnson Reyes the last time
lost
in April.
Smolka on that,
no,
right?
he won. He won unanimous. Okay. And before that, he'd lost to Mighty Mouse via unanimous decision. Went the full 5 minutes, which, I mean, like, really, Mighty Mouse, if he doesn't finish a fight, then we're not really that surprised.
Yeah.
Unless he waits till
there's not a lot of inertia.
Unless he waits till fucking 4:59 in the 5th round. to shut shit down.
Chokes him out. Yes.
Before that, he ran 3 in a row. I mean, Elliott, well, shit. As far as like contending for a title, he has his best shot as anyone else in the flyweight division.
Ben win probably actually by a finish. I'm thinking.
You know, I like that. Elliott's been finished 3 times in his 7 losses. Yeah, I think Wynn's going to see a finish of that.
I could see a TKO or a submission, one of the two. You know, but that's fine.
Look, yeah, I think Ben Wynn is going to take TKO in the second round. Let's see. Dan Hooker fighting Ross Pearson.
Now, Pearson is a guy that always gets jacked by judges.
That poor
Every
motherfucker.
time.
Dude has not recovered since Albuquerque, man.
Yeah, when Diego Sanchez was shocked he got a win, you know, because he got his ass kicked for 3 solid rounds, and Ross Pearson got the loss. And there was even one judge that saw it unanimous.
Yeah, John Anik said one of the few things I've ever really agreed is like, this is egregious. I'm like, yeah, this is bullshit.
That's why we'll probably never see a UFC event in Albuquerque, at least for
and
years
it was
to
so
come.
hard. And I mean, I understand, like, Diego, deep down in his souls had to know he lost that fight.
Yeah, absolutely.
So when his name got announced and that reaction, that wasn't the reaction of a guy thinking he won a fight and be like, yeah, that's right, bitches, I won. That was a guy thinking like, oh, fuck, man, I need to work on my stand-up a little more. And then, holy shit, I won! And then just loses his mind.
Yeah, because he's in his hometown
while
of Albuquerque.
Goes ape shit. People love Holly Holm. What the fuck is going on in Albuquerque MMA?
Albuquerque does not deserve another UFC fight unless they put up a new venue.
Greg Jackson.
And, oh my God, the problem they have great fighters at Jackson.
They just have no place to fight, and the fans are terrible
because they had to put on Tingley, which really is just an old urinal.
Don't they have like that Pizza Coliseum or something named after a pizza joint?
Yeah, they actually took that away from them and
really?
renegotiated. Well, Wise Pies Arena, pit.
That's what it was.
Because they couldn't pay, they owed, and they couldn't pay. So no, it's some other shit. I don't know. Everybody calls it the pit, but you don't want to put on a UFC event there.
No, you don't. You don't want to put on a UFC event in Albuquerque, which they did one. And they haven't been back since. And when they did that one, they said, we have 2 cards planned for Albuquerque.
Now, if they do bring one, Santa Ana Star would probably be the right place to go.
Good. Yeah,
that's a new venue. It's a good venue. There's a couple of them up there, but they're generally the casinos.
They need to get off their asses and do a fucking fight card in Lubbock at the United Spirit Arena,
or
whatever the fuck it's called.
Well, they are, yeah, that'd be awesome for us. But they are putting on a little minor MMA event in Clovis next weekend.
That's right.
Which we might need to do a Thursday podcast. I'm going to look into tickets this week. I'm going to look into
they're $20 pre, $30 at the door.
No, I'm going to swing weight around. I'm going to,
Oh, that's right. Yeah, you know people.
Because I know people. I'm a capo regime.
Which, by the way, I got Ross Pearson winning that fight.
Oh, yeah, Ross Pearson all the way. We might have to look into that. That'd be all right. Maybe a Thursday podcast to go catch. No, fuck that. We could do it Friday because it's on Saturday.
Yeah, it's on a Saturday.
We might have to look. Okay.
Co-main, Derek Brunson. Some middleweight fucking chingasos being thrown against Daniel Kelly.
I like Brunson for a long time, but my God, he looked terrible in his last fight.
He did. He's getting a good rebound fight, though. That's the thing. Seems like the UFC are trying to take care of him.
Yeah.
I mean, Daniel Kelly has only lost a fucking fight. But his last, let's see, and that one loss, which I'm glad I get to say this name at least once a month, lost to Sam motherfucking Alvey via TKO 49 seconds in the first round.
Yeah.
That was actually the Stipe Hunt card where Stipe had to beat Hunt almost to murder before the ref stopped the fight.
Right.
After losing to Alvey, beat Steve Montgomery, beat Antonio Carlos Jr., beat Chris Camozzi, and then beat Rashad Evans via split decision back in March. Derek Brunson, though, is a guy that can touch you. He can reach out and touch you.
Okay. On that particular fight, after you gave me that rundown, a split with Rashad Evans, Derek Brunson's better than Rashad.
Yeah.
So,
which Derek Brunson
very similar stand-up kind of a game. I got Derek Brunson.
Yeah. And Derek Brunson has actually beaten Sam Alvey via TKO first round.
Yeah.
Last 2 fights, though, Whitaker, TKO. Whitaker beat his ass, and then he lost that unanimous decision to Anderson Silva, during the fucking featherweight title fight headline card that no one gave a fuck about.
Well, but as it turns out, though, if you lose to Whitaker, that's not a bad thing on your resume now.
And if you lose to Silva, it really doesn't do you any bad
A
shit.
Hall of Famer.
Yeah,
you
it's
know.
like big deal. You lost to the guy. I got Brunson probably by a pretty significant
I
finish.
think Brunson probably by a first-round finish, I think.
Yeah.
I think he comes out because he has to make something happen.
And now, my friends, the main event. The Black Beast, the man who talks the greatest game and has the best Instagram account out there.
Where'd that fine-ass Ronda Rousey at? After beating her boyfriend.
After beating the bloody... I mean, Travis Brown had him hurt.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Travis Brown could have won that fight. But then he turned into Travis Brown. That fucking Glendale, Arizona Travis Brown.
Yep.
I love Derek Lewis. He's an entertaining guy to watch, and he's also an entertaining guy to hear. But he's fighting Mark Hunt in Auckland, New Zealand, his hometown.
Yeah.
I am a huge fan of Mark Hunt. Mark Hunt is the guy that got me into enjoying UFC.
Oh,
again.
so you're going to recuse yourself on the pick.
No. I'm painting a picture here. I'm painting a picture. The Bigfoot Mark Hunt card,
Yeah.
where they went 5 rounds and it was just a war. That was the first full UFC card I'd watched in probably about 4 years, and might have had a little assistance in the booze and herb fucking train.
Right.
But man, it was just top to bottom a great card. And after that, I
yeah.
try not to miss anything.
Yeah, if you got UFC Fight Pass and you haven't watched that one,
Check it. I mean, it's a yoked up, gassed out fucking Bigfoot fighting Mark Hunt.
Yep.
But if he hadn't had any of that shit in his system, the fight would have been over in the first round, and Mark Hunt would have broke his jaw.
Yeah, but Mark Hunt, the whole time
When he fucking hurt his leg.
You can play like some weird heroic music in the background and shit, and it would play great because that was
there
was
was
a
at
really
least a
entertaining
dozen
fight.
times when that fight could have been stopped.
Yeah. So he's fighting Derek Lewis, who, frankly, though, yeah, he can get hurt. That's obvious.
Sure.
But, oh, my God, he has got concrete in his hands.
He does. And he's got concrete in that jaw as well.
Yeah.
So does Mark Hunt. But you're starting to see some cracks.
Mark Hunt's my age, so.
Yeah. Yeah, he's, 43, I think. 43 or 40. He's up there. Me being the man I am, I'm picking Mark Hunt in my heart. But if I was in Vegas putting money, I'd still probably put a little bit on Mark Hunt because he's actually the underdog.
Yeah.
But I think Derek Lewis, this fight is not going to go 5 rounds. I think Derek Lewis is going to catch him when they're in deep doing some, because he's got like a 5-inch reach advantage on Mark Hunt. Mark Hunt's a little short, stocky
which is
motherfucker.
weird. Well, yeah, but Mark Hunt usually has a weird reach because his arm's like monkey long.
That, and he fucking broke Stephen Shrew's jaw, and I think the reach advantage there was even more than 5 inches.
Yeah, but you start talking about Lewis, and he is he's a grinder, man.
Yeah.
I mean, and he knows when to kind of fall back. Travis Brown played his game in the right way for most of that fight, and then once he got away from it just a little bit, it only took one shot in the second round, no less, from Derek Lewis to change that fight around.
Put him on his ass.
I mean, most of the time you see heavyweights fighting, they're done after that first round is over, but that's not the case. Derek Lewis is able to hold some back. I think he finishes Mark Hunt's second round, maybe third.
I would agree with the second round finish.
I only have one guarantee, and that is that neither one of these guys are going to try for a shoot takedown.
Well, now, but then you never know. It might just be like Shane Carl and Brock Lesnar, where it fucking ends with a head and arm choke. But no, I agree 100%. I think Derek Lewis is going to he's not going to it's not going to be too disgusting, the knockout. But it's going to be hard to see. But in my heart, Mark Hunt is going to go out there and destroy him. Because I'm a fan of Mark Hunt, but smart money's on Derek Lewis, man.
So that's our picks. That's the 3 topics, Mead, Metal, and MMA.
Yeah, I was going to have a Mead pick this week, but we're so low. I think
my Mead pick is Runestone because that's the upcoming.
That's right.
My Metal pick is actually a country music song album this week called Old Walker. Wheeler Walker Jr.
Pick of the week.
I did like his song "Fuck You, Bitch," which really kind of As far as a romantic song goes, it's a little hard to contend with, but
I'm picking St. Anger in its entirety.
that's actually, you know what? And I'm, God dang, what? Probably Navarro on Body Electric, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll go with that one. The Wheeler Walker Jr. is a joke, really, but yes.
In MMA, I'm picking Sam Alvey with run-in at the 185 Derek Brunson fight.
MMA, I have them going back to UFC 3 rules and Demetrious Johnson fighting a sumo wrestler.
And then repeatedly punching him in the balls. Well, my friends, thank you again for joining us. Kev, it's good to be back on a Friday.
Yeah, we've got a couple of regular weeks to come, I think. So
yeah. Well, friends, keep up to date with what we're doing. Follow us on our Facebook page.
Yeah, we're. I'm not even sure what the hell our Facebook page.
It's actually Facebook/Season Woe.
Okay.
Which is our band name.
We have a Twitter handle as well, but nobody checks it. So.
Stagnant as fuck.
Yeah.
Ruslan Magomedov still follows us though, and Victor Cho from the guy that owns One Championship, which is kind of cool.
There you go. All right, but I don't know. We've tried Twitter. I do it on a personal level, professional level. It's a little rough. But
I tried to keep up with it, but I just don't have the cognitive capacity.
Yeah, we're going to be probably working on some music. Actually, an original in the works. I think it's pretty riffy, pretty jammy, and I think we might be able to make some weird progress real fast on it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so, I was hearing today and yesterday.
Yeah,
fucking stoked.
Working on it. So. A little tributive toward kind of in our doom metal style with like a little nod to Soundgarden and a little nod to Alice in Chains, sort of. So, but anyway.
All of our heroes,
yeah,
by the way.
All right. We're going to go ahead and get the hell out of here and wreck the whole goddamn setup.
Need that lighter. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, we're going to go ahead and call it a day and probably check out, I don't know, any Bellator on tonight? Probably not.
I'm not sure. Might be an LFA card,
maybe.
Or Resurrection. I'm not sure.
No, Resurrection is LFA.
Oh, yeah, that's right. They merged.
Yeah. It was RFA and Legacy, and now it's LFA. So, anyway, we're going to go ahead and get the fuck out of here. Have a great week, everybody. We will check in with you again next week and talk about such grand issues as we have. Peace out. Do get that Elder. Get on there. I know you're going to go, what was that he was saying I didn't check out? Elder's newest album on YouTube.
Reflections of a Floating World. Listen to our cover of The Cure's song, Love Song. Listen to Ruben's song. It's catchy. About as catchy as an STD.
I was going to leave it alone. Jesus Christ. All right.
I love you, Ruben.
Yeah, all right. You people have a great weekend. We'll check in with you next week.